Hello. Hello. Ew, how we doing here? Yes. That looks nice. Get a nice little hello. How we doing? Happy Mother's Day. Is everyone ready? Well, if you are a mommy, be sure and tell us. Tell us a little bit about your family and happy Mother's Day to you. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing to be a mommy. Hardest job in the world and the most important job in the world. We love mommies. We are huge fans of Gaia. We are a mommy-based channel, aren't we? We love the mama. We love the mamas. And I bet you are all amazing. Let me take a wild guess. You're great moms, highly sensitive, and you get no respect, right? It's always the case with empaths. I have a friend. She works at Tuchasaf. She gave her children great lives. They're little rich kids. They have anything they want, and all they do is complain. Man, how is that for, mothers? It's just unfortunate, some kids, they don't realize what they've got, right? I think when a lot of young kids that get out into the real world, wow, it's really hard to be on your own. Oh, now I get what was going on with my parents being stressed out about money and all of that other stuff. I was like 50 something years old when I realized why my stepdad was in such a bad mood all the time. It's like, oh, the mortgage. Right? Adulting is difficult, right? Adulting is difficult. Cheers to you all. I'm enjoying the Pellegrino that was on sale at Safeway. I think I got something like 6 bottles for $3.79 or something. Anyway, this is the tangerine and the wild strawberry. Yum, yum. L'chaim, l'chaim to you all. Tell me what you're eating and drinking, how you're doing. I think I have a date with Kay we're going to do a jam session. I'm bringing my guitar. She and I are going to make some music next week. Maybe I'll bring a pizza too or something. I don't know. Maybe some sandwiches, huh? Kay, Belle? Hey, Kay Travel. You ever tried those sandwiches, the gourmet sandwiches? They got it all. Even vegan sandwiches, if you like that. Well, let's go ahead. We'll turn the camera. I think it's going to be a little quiet today. A lot of y'all are having very nice meals with loved ones. Those of you who could not get together with loved ones, I am your loved one, and I would love to hang out with the mommies. All right. So let's start with the announcements. Announcements. Yeah, guys ever do camp? Anybody do camp? I did B'nai B'rith camp every year. B'nai B'rith camp. It's a little hot. And we had all these songs associated with BB camp, like BB camp, BB. Yeah. And then we had, we had a bunch of them. But we would always sing the announcement songs when we have to make announcements. Happy Mother's Day to Kay Travel Tarot. I know she has children. Geocosmic Valentine. Hello. Hi, Catherine Lamson. She's I am the mother to a cat that does not appear to want to be with us. Hey, Mila, do you want to join us? Hey, Mila, you want to come be with us? She's walking around. You coming? Joel Tilson, hello. Joel's excuse me, something's setting me off. Excuse me. Joel Tilson's mom raised 9 kids, and my cousin, I was number 8, with 5 older sisters, 2 older brothers, and 1 younger brother. Only 1 bathroom. Oh my God. I don't know how a female can survive. I mean, that's my criticism about Paris. You know, it's like young females, there's so many, and women have to have access to bathrooms for so many reasons. I just can't imagine that, Joel. Hi, Yolanda. Good to see you. Hi, Dawn Daniels, Boone Dragon. Happy Mother's Day to you. Karen W. For baby mamas, I think it's completely legitimate. I should treat myself today because I am Mila's mommy. Mila, where'd Mila go? Huh? Is she coming? I don't know. Somewhere, but I don't know where she went to. Maybe that'll inspire her to come visit. All right. So, first things first about our book club. Once a month, we feature a book from one of our very own subscribers, fans of the channel, whatever you want to call them, call yourselves. We have been reading The Last Thing Claire Wanted. This is written by Karen Fitz Sanford. I'll be honest, I've been reading it very, very slowly. It's the story of a woman who's a former FBI person. She has a falling out. She leaves the FBI and instead she starts to work for estate sales. And so she takes this job with working for estate sales, and she winds up in this mobile park where she has to like summarize the stuff at this estate. But the mobile park is a housing facility for sex offenders. Anyway, there's a murder that takes place in the town. They have to find out who killed the boy. So a lot of people suspect it's somebody in the trailer park area. But anyway, so the main character, Claire, not Claire, I think it's Claire is the older woman telling the story. But the private investigator, or the former FBI woman, she has to come out of investigation and try and figure out who did the murder. Yeah, so it's a whodunit. Anne McCormick. Yeah, Anne McCormick is the lead. Anyway, I'm enjoying it. So if you want to join us, Northern California, Anne McCormick has plenty of her own problems: a vile ex-husband, a rocky exit from the FBI, and a struggling new estate sales business. But when finding a watch leads her to a prominent wine country matriarch, she can't say no to the dying woman's plea to solve her young son's decades-old murder. Anyway, so so it's pretty good. Anyway, so this is our May read. We will talk about whether we liked it. Well, I really like it. I just have gotten busy, but I will be reading some more of it today. So by the end of May, we will talk about The Last Thing Claire Wanted. For the month of June, we will be reading another book by another fan of the channel, member of the channel, and that is Isabel's Starry Night. Isabel's Starry Night. This is our book selection for June in support of our writers here on the channel. And this is written by Wanda Webster and Richard M. I'll read the synopsis for the June book. Isabel Hotchkiss has reached a milestone in her life. She is now 21 years old and officially an adult. Her younger brother Benjamin labels her a doomer, and her parents have reached their breaking point of tolerance for her bad behavior. Disillusioned with her life, Isabel sets on a journey to find answers, or anyone who might help her find her place in the world. She encounters unforgettable characters and situations that jumpstart her inward journey of transformation. In the end, Isabel finds a sense of inner peace in the most unexpected ways and answers to questions she did not know she had. It is the sacred journey we all take, the journey to find light in the darkness, places to find our true powerful nature. The truth is, you are more powerful than you know. So that is June reading selection. May, June, if you want to keep up with us. All right. Looks like Pauline Swader. Put this down so I don't make weird clunking sounds. She had a vegan bratwurst with homemade chow chow on wrap and said it was very good. Sounds like it would be. Yummy. Prince Charming's mom is new here. Boy, well, happy Mother's Day. I think the name says it all. You have produced a Prince Charming, and it's a Cocker Spaniel. Prince Charming's mom. Oh my God, I love animals. Hi, Elaine Perman. Good to see you. Geocosmic is here, keeping it real. Lila Corverbius, hello. Well, let's talk. Any other announcements? Yes. Special shout outs to our latest members who are supporting our channel. Thank you so very much. Much appreciation to our latest members. Want to give a shout out to Connie, the cat mama, who has become a new member. Thank you so much. Jenny Linick is now a member. She joined this week. And of course, Maria Rodriguez has re-upped again. Much appreciation for that. And also special shout out to all everybody over at Patreons. Hope you're enjoying the music and all the other fun stuff I've been putting on over there. So we can talk about whatever you want. People can ask me to clarify if you have any remote viewings that you need clarification for that have already happened. We can talk about that. I had done a remote view. I've done a lot of grids on the Ukraine war where I basically said it felt like it was over in the sense that I felt that the energy was dropping on the Russian side and the energy was building on the Ukrainian side. And so because of the energy differential, I felt like it was over, and that I said, even if it takes a month, 2 months, the trajectory of the war is such that it's over. They don't have enough weapons to give to their own soldiers. Today, there was another statement by Wagner. They're getting trapped. They can't get out. They're surrounded. When they said that the Russians abandoned their position, and so Wagner opened fire on Russians fleeing Bakhmut. So that is, you can't win a war like that. You can't win a war when your own soldiers are trying to kill your own soldiers. So the issue comes up with the remote viewings, and this is really significant from a global perspective, that private armies are really to blame for a lot of the problems that are happening. They bypass the United Nations. There are certain things that civilized countries and military agree to in terms of how you treat a POW, how you conduct yourself. There's something called war crimes. And the mistake that Russia made, and the mistake that the United States has made in following in the footsteps of this kind of kleptocracy, it goes back to these private armies where people thought, we'll get a private army, they can commit crimes against humanity, and then we can get away with it because it's not our real army that has to adhere to certain rules and standards. But it's not going to end that way, because the Wagner Group is a terrorist organization and they're facing trials in The Hague. If this guy's captured, he will probably spend the rest of his life in prison. They want to try him in The Hague. I don't think, given the mood that Putin has been in for the last 6 weeks, when I went into the remotes, on what the head of Wagner. Forgive me, I have trouble pronouncing his name. I think as Putin, I feel incredibly embarrassed and humiliated by the disaster. The whole world sees the disaster that is Ukraine, and I've got to blame somebody. So that is why he did this to Wagner. And there's some information coming up about Cory Booker in the near future, and I don't know what that's about, but I know that several people are concerned about private armies. I think Cory Booker was involved quite a bit with this, and so was Al Franken, because this does fall into the category of, are these civil rights issues that were, crimes against humanity. So we could be seeing energetically, when I went into this, I felt like we could be hearing more from Cory Booker in terms of just being proactive about human rights, et cetera, on this issue. The other remote I felt was that there were bribes that had been given to members of the feds. For example, the guy out of New York who ran the FBI field office. It was very hush hush when he was arrested. He was in the FBI field office, possibly leaking information on existing investigations on Hillary Clinton, et cetera. And so basically doing what they could to weaponize the FBI and to help Trump get elected. So that guy was arrested. Forgive me, I should have looked his name up. But what you also see here is extensive investigations into FBI bribes. It's a very unpleasant energy when you go into the Justice Department and the FBI, in the sense, as a remote viewer, for me, I find it extremely, extremely stressful and unpleasant, in the sense that they have to do internal investigations and have been doing a 2-year internal investigation into the Justice Department, which means people, snitching on each other. There's a lot of snitching going on, right? So there's a lot of internal investigations going on, potential charges for people in the feds who had taken bribes. And now it's gotten to the point where everybody is being questioned who may have somehow been associated. And so you can imagine, if you're a career employee for the feds, how terrifying this energy is of this internal audit that's going on. And I just felt, when I popped in, I did a little bit more on Putin. I just felt like I was in a panic. I walked the grid in Bakhmut, and I felt like it was inhospitable to life. Here's some stuff that's going to be coming out. They're testing water tables. I found that the sulfur and phosphorus levels were way too high. The contamination from the war in Bakhmut had made the water table was severely contaminated. Water contamination is such a serious problem in this area. It could have an impact on the water, not just the health risk of humans in the area, but animals, wildlife, and the watering of crops. So the main problem I felt when I walked, when you had me just walk the grid of Bakhmut, was that the soil and the water has been severely contaminated by the chemicals. That was basically all I had for you from last night. Thank you, Buddha Lion, for the $20 donation. We are raising money, as you may know, for the Jane Goodall Institute. I'm a huge fan of Jane Goodall. The Jane Goodall Institute works to preserve natural habitats for wildlife, like the chimpanzees in Tanzania and Uganda are the two main community she's been working with, but they also work to preserve wildlife. So we are raising money for the beautiful Jane Goodall, and we've received a lovely donation from Buddha Lion. Thank you so much. Hi, Melody Harmon. Good to see you. Hi, Dina Dontanelli. Dina Dontanelli, excuse me. Claudia Various. Hi, great to see you here. True Gale. Hi. Karen Louise. Hello. Life is a Mindset. Lorraine, thank you for being a member. Thank you, Karen W., for being a member. So, yeah, that is basically the situation. I think let's do the collective reading unless you all have some announcements of your own you need to make. Is anybody planning on going out later for Mother's Day? I actually am treating myself. I think I'm going to I might go to Cascadia Farms or another place that sells plants, and I'm going to buy some plants for the garden. I planted a ton of tomatoes, but it was too cold. Not a single seed came up. So I'm just going to go and buy like a hardy tomato plant. There's a couple herbs also I want to buy today. Like I'm going to buy a lavender. My lavender died. It was too hot. Lavender. I don't think likes extreme heat. I want to get another lavender, another thyme. These all died last year from that 116-degree heat, and I don't think I put enough mulch to protect from heat, and it just got burnt. But I want to get another thyme, another marjoram, another lavender. I might get an oregano and a tomato plant. They have a restaurant at Cascadia Farms too, so maybe I'll just go to Cascadia and then treat myself to an iced coffee. I'm sure it's slammed over there because of Mother's Day over at Cascadia Farms. That to me is a nice day for me basil. The basil is doing okay. I have a hydroponic thing where I grow my herbs, and I planted some basil, and then I transplanted it uh, under my grape tree or my grapevine. The grapevine lived. The top burnt and it was dead, and all the leaves fell off, and I thought it was dead, but I kept watering it and it actually came back to life. So I've got leaves coming back up on the grapes. Yeah. Sunscreen for your plants, you can do that? What an interesting idea. I think I just need to cover the soil because the seeds dry out. That's the main problem. I mean, it's 116 degrees. But if you put like a half an inch of mulch, that should help, right? It drowns. Yeah, it has a root rot problem, right, Chris? So it needs gravel, I think, right? Yeah, it was too cold. I mean, if I had a hot house, that would be different. Y'all want to have a community reading? Are we ready? Is there something else we're supposed to be doing, or can we go right into the community reading? Oh, Shun Star became a member of Fairies and Angels. Flopsy says thank you. Woohoo! This is Flopsy. Mila, look, I got Flopsy. I got Flopsy. What are you going to do about it, huh? Yeah, I got your baby here. I got your baby. Yeah. You're not happy about that, are you? You going to come join us? Hmm? Did you want to come sit with us? That is the question. What kind of mood is she going to be in if I force her to sit here? You want to join us? Did you want to join us? There you go. Come and join us. Yeah. There you go, Mila. Hi. Hello. Hi.
See the birdies outside?
Oh my goodness. Prayers. Yes, let's go ahead. I do have a greenhouse. One of the thing I don't know. I think I got too adventurous with space that was, I don't have a lot of space. I only have like 6 feet by 4 feet or something. It's not a lot of space for a garden. All right. You'll never catch him. It just won't happen, Mila. You will never catch him. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. This collective reading is done with an intent to speak to everyone in the group. Find what speaks to you, and if it doesn't speak to you, just pass it down the line. It's like a sushi bar. Take what you like. It's the collective. Yeah, the bird literally comes and stands by the window and stares at her in a position like it's a duel, and all they can do is just stare at each other for hours. This has been going on for 2 years, by the way. It's a 2-year relationship you're watching right now between Mila. We should probably name the crow, huh? Give it a name. Shylock. You and Shylock. Huh? All right, where we are at collectively as a group. The times are becoming stable. The government is becoming stable. I feel like the feds, the power of the feds, I feel like it's rising. I feel woe be it to the person who decides to take down the US federal government. You know, I feel like particularly under Biden, the federal government has become so solid. I feel like our institutions are going to start working again. The base of the matter is our legacy remains strong. Our legacy remains strong with the 10 of Pentacles, and just do your best when it comes to your retirement. Do your best in terms of savings. All we can do is our best. Your karma card. Financial stability. Financial stability. So overall, I think that we're looking at legacies for people. The legacy is solid, and also the finances will be solid for many of us if we just calm down, do your best, be frugal, save for a rainy day. Overall, financially, you're going to be okay. The sun is coming out, so it's an optimism. You know, the sun comes out, people become very active, they shake off the seasonal affective disorder. It's a very positive time in people's lives right now. The sun is here. The crossing card, I keep seeing people investing in new economies, renewable economies. Many of you will be investing in new economies that will be very fruitful for you. Many of you are going into business. I'm seeing investments in the land. Smart cards. You guys are starting to really come into your own intellectually. What you're coming out of, a tailwind, 6 of Wands. So you've got this tailwind of success over the next 6 months. Don't let small things take the wind out of your sail. You're going to have days when people will criticize you. You're going to have days when you're going to have good days and bad days at work. You're going to have days when you doubt yourself. But if you stick consistently, you are a talented person. You are talented. This denotes talent and intellect, and strong potential lies ahead for you. You will have good days and bad days, heartbreaks and disappointments, but the overall trajectory is positive if you believe in yourself and you focus on what you want to produce. Many of you have experienced tremendous betrayal, often by the people you love the most. It can be very difficult during Mother's Day if we had a bad relationship with our own mother or we're having challenges with our children. There's betrayal here, a sense that one may have done the best they could and been betrayed by perhaps persons that they trusted. And this can be a difficult thing to come through. Many of you have had family dynamics of fighting, a difficult people that you've had to interact with in these times. A lot of this could be coming up just because it is Mother's Day. And again, we have the mother, hopes and fears for the mother. And this goes back to the spiritual teachings of this channel, which is that she is the most important creation. She's more important than the children. She's more important than the husband. The most important being on the planet is the mother. And the priority of a civilized society is with the mother, not with the children, and not with the husband. All primary resources in traditional societies went first to the mother. If the hunters went out and found a delicious bison and prepped it up, who got the best? The mother. The mother got the best piece. Why? Because the mother is the future generation. She nurtures the next generation so that we survive. So the hope, the dream of the future is actually the mother. A society, whether or not a society can thrive and succeed to future generations, is determined by how it treats its mothers. When the mother is loved, when she can feed the babies, when her needs are met, her children are happy, and that creates the next generation of happy people. But if she's being beaten, abused, subjugated, mishandled, mistreated, disrespected, it does not bode well for the children she raises or the future generations. The final outcome, we are producing a nation of unbelievably strong, moral, and ethical people. Through everything, every mistake this country has made, we're working on the perfect union, and every day we learn something about ourselves so that we can become part of this perfect union. But it's typified by the Queen of Wands at this time in our future, which is to seek justice absolute, passion. The fight continues. It's a warrior's card. It's a card of the feminine. Many of you are returning back to what you love. One of the things that's come up in our remotes when we connect with the consciousness of the mother Gaia, the earth, she always tells us what any good mother would tell us, that she wants us to be happy beyond belief and to love her and take care of her as our mother so that she can continue to love us, so that she can live, so that she can thrive and continue to extend that love into the infinite. There's a 6 of Cups in the 7th house for you, which would denote going back to the things you love, going back to the garden. Your joy, your happiness and fulfilling your dreams in life are necessary to the goodness of the collective, to the goodness of the planet. Your happiness is the best thing that you can give your children. It it's a cup that overfloweth, the 9 of Cups. The hopes and fears having to be too tough with certain people you don't want to be tough with, 4 of Cups. People, you trying to love people, they don't want to take what you have to offer. The final outcome for you is fortify your own world, keep your own house in order, work on your own dreams and goals every day, pound away a little bit at your dreams and your goals, and creating your little slice of heaven on earth. So that, because that is your mission. Your mission is not, this is how you save the world. You save the world by creating a piece of heaven, one person at a time, and then you share it. It's like a rainbow gathering, right? You share what you got. All right, that is the reading. You're headed in the right direction. Not everybody can join you, but the happier you become and the more committed you are to fulfilling your dreams in life, the more you will inspire and pull people into joy, others into joy as well. That is your reading. Do you have opinion about it? Yes, no, sort of. Okay. No opinion. No opinion from the peanut gallery. Did you see that I put Flopsy over here, Mila? Yeah. It's okay. It's okay if I show everybody Flopsy. You don't care, do you? No. She's matured. She realizes that Flopsy too has work to do in the world, like being our mascot. All right. So we have done the empath prayer. We have done the collective reading. I imagine if I get an order, I will blitz, blitz, blitz away. I feel like I want to switch cards. Y'all want to switch cards? I feel like I want to switch my cards up. All right, I've got the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away. I'm just going to go through everybody's questions. Again, thank you everyone for donating to our charity today. It is the Jane Goodall Foundation to save the planet and save our friends, the chimpanzees. Yes, so that is what we are doing today. We've already gotten some lovely donations. We've also gotten a new membership, so that is cool. And now we're going to just do some blitzes. I'm just going to go through as fast. I go fast, fast, fast. If I don't see the red thing, I may skip your question. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Just means I didn't see the question mark. Oh, we've got another member here. Oh, I'm so excited. Carolyn Rossell, welcome to, Elders and Empaths, first class. We're starting the Elders and Empaths 10-week series on how to be a professional remote viewer. It starts next Wednesday, and I have the syllabus typed out. Woohoo! So you guys will know exactly what we're covering and what the subject is week by week. So on Wednesday, I will I can let you know if you've got the book, Hands of Light. We're covering the first 40 plus pages if you want to go ahead and get started before Wednesday. Okay, awesome possum. Very exciting. It's always exciting to see the channel grow, isn't it? Prigozhin's Wagner boss was indicted in the Mueller report. Yes, he was the one that he was the one that hired the people that used the hacking stuff. Let's see what will become of Prigozhin. I mean, last night when I did a scan of the Wagner group, it felt like it was going to be over in less than a week, just because they've come around. You have you have Bakhmut, and then you have the Ukrainians surrounding, and they came up here, the southeastern corridor. They closed it off, so the Russians fled. Wagner started shooting at the Russians that were fleeing, and now it's become almost impossible for Wagner to leave. The other problem for Wagner is that they were ordered to stay, and that if they abandoned their post, it would be treason, but they have no weapons. So they're sitting ducks. Oh, Yolanda, hi. Thank you so much. Elders and Empaths, another one. Oh, I hope you guys show up on Tuesday. Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday? We decided Wednesday, right? Wednesday at 6 p.m. All right, let's see what's going to happen to the Wagner group since they're I think it's probably going to take less than a week for them to be completely surrounded. They're taking they took 10 kilometers yesterday, the Ukrainians. So it's very fast. I mean, as fast as they can run, the Russians fled. I just can't get over how gruesome this is. Wagner's going to flee. They're going to retreat. The war could be over by August. Fleeing to the south. The warrior. Look at how well armed. This is Ukraine. Presents as the Empress. The treasure trove that ever overflows. They are armed to the teeth. It's like if you need 100% to win the war, they have 500%. They're just really well armed, and you have a movement, and it's a southwest, which makes sense because they can't get out southeast right now if the corridor is closing. So they attempt to flee south. They're probably going to try another corridor further south that's open in Russian territory because they can't get out through the southeast corridor. That's how I would interpret it. The hopes and fears. There's no leadership right now in the military. It could be over by August. Clarification on the war with Prigozhin. It's over for Prigozhin. It's a new beginning for Ukraine. And the courts are coming down. So it's not just Prigozhin, but anybody that was in Wagner is facing prosecution. So the whole entire group is facing prosecution from The Hague. You can see here, he attempts to flee south. He's stopped with the Knight of Pentacles. He doesn't go anywhere. There's a new beginning. Possibly this could happen even before the summer because you have a spring offensive here and then the Empress with that spring card coming in for Ukraine. And then the hope and the fear is leadership and the star over the leadership. The final outcome for Prigozhin and the Wagner group is the justice card falls over them in August, which means probably they'll be prosecuted by August. Because I read cards literally. Honestly, I don't know. Those cards indicate that he could be able to escape, but he's got to leave now. He can't. What happened, like I said, is they came in over the east. The direction they're giving us is southwest. The problem is that the Ukrainian army is coming from the northwest. And so they're going like this, and they're coming in the east. So what Prigozhin is saying is he's going to go northwest or southwest into Donbass, into Luhansk, but he's going to be going into a west. He has to go west because east, you've got this eastern offensive because of how the Ukrainians wrapped around. So he flees southwest based on these cards at the last minute and may be able to save himself. But even if he saves himself with an outcome of justice, he and his henchmen will likely face international prosecution. He can still save himself, though. Knight of Wands would suggest he can get out of there. But the clarification is the Knight of Pentacles, which goes nowhere. So his offensive is over. The clarification is within the next 2 weeks. final outcome was the 8 of Wands, which would mean by August we could be seeing the war pretty much over. They don't have any more weapons. Good question. Thank you. Oh, he laughed at the Mueller report. I don't know anything about Jim Clyburn. Does anybody know anything about this? I've seen nothing in the general news about this. Cheers. Oh, we have another member. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Jiggy Pardo Lord has become an empath, an elder and an empath. Congratulations. I'll see you on Wednesday. You don't have to go to the live. You can watch the repeat. We do 2 targets every week. We throw you right in. Target practice. All right, the future of Jim Clyburn. He's facing prosecution and jail time. What did he do? It's very serious and could entail jail. What did he do? I have no idea, but it's worse. We're going to know more within 30 days, and he could possibly be forced out within 90. Dang, what did he do? What did Jim Clyburn do? Within 3 months, he's looking beyond a 3-month period. The feds, the opposition, powerful within 1 month. His hopes and fears, new beginnings. And then here, the jail card, 9 of Wands. To defend his territory or his position. He took money. He took money? Who did he took money? They say he was working. It was an actual job. Holy hell, what did he do? Who did he take money from? Money. He was offered money. They had a job for him. Feds investigating a job. He took money. He took a job. A job could completely derail his career. Look at that. Does anybody know anything about this? He says he can beat the charges. He's going to be able to beat the most serious. Beat the most serious charges. Magician is his outcome. He'll be able to evade prosecution, but he's in serious trouble. What happened? Let's see if I can find out some comments. It's possible he'll be forced to leave, but it looks he ruined our chance to have Bernie for president. Oh. I don't know. James Clyburn. Okay, we have somebody who looked this up for us, you guys. This is fun. Happy Mother's Day! All right, Kay Travel. Thank you, my friend Kay, who's a pianist. She has given us the answer. I looked it up about James Clyburn. Apparently, he helped with some sort of gerrymandering maps that would put him in power, but take away some of Democratic votes from the rest of his state. Well, he's going to be able to get away with it because he didn't technically break. It's not prosecutable. You know, he defends himself 9 of Wands with a magician card as the final outcome. So he is going to wheedle his way out of this. I thought James Clyburn was a Democrat. Isn't he a Democrat? Is James Clyburn a Democrat or Republican? See what? Oh, GOP. He's a Republican mole. Oh, so but gerrymandering's not illegal because if you look at his outcome, he wound up with a magician as his outcome. So this guy's going to get out of it. Yeah, he's a Democrat. What the hell happened? Remote readings. Did I just get an email? Somebody, how do I sign up to become a remote viewer? You become a member of the channel at the Healers and Empaths level. It is a 10-week course. And our required book, you can go ahead and get it before we start class on Wednesday, is Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan. And recommended reading is A General Theory of Love as a second book. We also recommend you pick up a couple books on Silva mind control, which is going to help you understand the general theories of brain waves and how it works from a science perspective. So if you want to pick up your books beforehand, but number one is Hands of Light. That is our course book. And if you want to read ahead, Hands of Light, the first 40 pages before class. I can't believe I got everything announced today. Woohoo! Oh my God. It looks, yes, Clyburn cooperated with the Republicans to assure he'd be safe. Yeah, well, he is not going to be prosecuted, but with a 301s, he could be thinking about his ship coming in somewhere else. Also, he took money there. So it could have been money was given to his campaign or something like that. But there was an exchange of money, and it was a job for him. It's just really very disturbing. All right. Why were Republicans in Russia on July 4th in 2018? Good question. It was their job. They were given money to do it, Connie. So they were compromised. It was their job. This is what Spirit is trying to get us to understand. They were hired to do a job. They took money. Robert Mueller would say you're a foreign lobbyist, but you're not registered. They were non-registered foreign lobbyists. They are foreign lobbyists in some cases. They took the money, a job. They took a job from Russia. Money. It had to do with future alliances, trade, wanting to do business like oil, etc. They were hired as foreign lobbyists to lobby for Russia. They walked away from the battle. It was about new contracts, but it fell apart because of everything that happened with. They thought that they could all make a bunch of money off of Russia. Final outcome, Six of Swords. It's like they walk away from doing business with Russia, but many of them don't get prosecuted. They have a Six of Swords. They're fine. They just wanted to It's lobbying. That's the problem. Look at this. They took money. The devil. This is exactly what Robert Mueller was talking about. That was the real investigation. And that it would go all the way to the Capitol steps. There's Robert Mueller's card. The money. They didn't feel that it defied the Constitution or the ethos of the nation, because they felt that it was business. They told themselves it was business that would benefit the country. The Queen of Wands fell over them. Justice absolute. Boy, everything fell apart. I feel like Florida is a can of worms, because every time we go into the remotes, it's like, if you need to scrub that skanky girl from top to bottom, I'm sorry. I know that there are people who love Florida, and I'm sure there are some beautiful parts. Like the wildlife is supposed to be amazing, but human activity is pretty awful in that part of the world. If you're just looking at human trafficking, drug trafficking, meeting on mega yacht, it's just so repulsive, all the stuff that's going on in that part of the world. And you kind of wonder if the feds could do more to investigate what's going on in Florida, because it's just so much corruption. Oh, was there a raid? Pink Elephant says the raid on Trump Tower in Florida with the Russians that happened yesterday. Does anybody know anything about this? Florida and Texas. Yeah, but if you look at Texas history, I mean, they were a lot more liberal than Florida. I mean, Texas, they used to have, they were some of the first to have LGBTQ bars, right? They taught me some things. I went into a remote view and I saw all these guys were like, I don't know what they were, workers or what the hell they were doing, cowboys. And they used to have guys walk around and they would just have female lingerie on under their clothing. And that was, that was Texas, to let you know they were in business, because there weren't a lot of women there. So a lot of LGBTQ bars, and they were free. They went there to be free. People went to Texas to be free. And then the evangelicals showed up and ruined Texas. But it used to be live and let live. It was very progressive. So I'm still holding out hope for Texas. Yeah. It's like Brokeback Mountain in that remote. I was like, this is Texas? Not a lot of churches. Not in the beginning. Lonely men. And men running afoul of the law, or, like Tombstone, trying to getting away from trouble, and also along with that, members of the LGBTQ that were being harassed. So they would head out west to get away from all of that. And you might start a bar and just live out in the middle of nowhere, having people leave you alone. And that's what happened. Then the evangelicals showed up and ruined it. All right, Florida. Yeah, it goes back to the remotes. Looks like, thank you, Emily. Let's take a look at this. It looks like I'm not rushing to close. We can stay extra. I mean, I have nothing to do today. It's hot. I might go out and get some plants, but I don't mind staying extra since we still have 750 people. Unless somebody else is going live. I don't want to interrupt somebody else's show. So it looks like the Federal Bureau of Investigation descended on a luxury Florida condo. Thanks, Emily, for giving us this information. It was owned by two Russian businessmen at Trump Towers of Sunny Isle Beach on Thursday, according to Report Google. Do you think it has anything to do? You guys are intelligent. You've been following the bouncing ball. You've been listening to Mueller. How much you want to bet this has something to do with the mega yachts off Florida that were taken, and the meetings that Mueller was talking about off the Florida coast? Pretty cool hat. That's a pretty cool hat trick I did, right? I know. Let's take a look. It's it's a really fun time to be a remote viewer. It's a lot of crazy stuff we're finding. Uh, there were spies. They're spies. They're Russian spies. Is this? I mean, I read cards literally. Just get to the point. They were spies for Russia. It was a long investigation that, well, I'm in the records. I can just read the records because it was an investigation that went on for quite a while, but it intensified approximately 3.5 years ago. They were spies, the spies card. They were spying for Russia. What happened was that while they were spying, I'll just read the records as I see them. While they were spying, they in order to do what they were doing, they had to screw a lot of people over, and a lot of people were betrayed. So people flipped, and so you have people cooperating with the federal investigation over the last 3.5 years, and it was based on those investigations and the investigation that they were doing into offshore meetings on mega yachts, etc., that ultimately led to them being charged. But they were ratted out. They were betrayed. They now have to defend their position, but they're pretty strong evidence. It's pretty irrefutable. We may be able to have them be part of an exchange as spies. You can see here. Oh, hi, my Michelle. Thanks for being a member. Welcome. You can see here the mastery card. They were spies. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, y'all can read the cards. They're spies. They screwed the wrong person over, and that person flipped. 10 of Swords. They got betrayed. It falls under the feds in the 8th house. So somebody betrayed. They have to defend themselves. Mastery. These guys are so important. We might be able to do an exchange between them and Russia. The feds are right over them. You can see Justice. The court's right over them. Grief. I honestly think we may not prosecute them. We may just ship them back in exchange for our own spies, send them back. And then 5 of Pentacles, the poverty card, they're shamed, they're sent out. So it's probably people. Look, it ends exactly like I love those remotes we did on Moeller because he was such a clean target. Mueller was a clean target for me as a remote viewer. If I have to do a profile, he was very clean. Like he told us exactly where to go, exactly where we would find information. These boats, these offshore accounts, well, 5 of Pentacles doesn't mean necessarily prison, to be cast out, to be in exile. Also, 8 of Cups is to walk away from what you've built, which is probably that they've been working with compromised people for a long time. I think we'll get as much information as we can from them and probably ship them back to Russia in exchange for our own people. That's what it looked like. Which is frustrating because you want there to be more consequences, but that looks like the most likely outcome. All right. So the question that Christine wanted is about whether or not there were documents that were found in the raid. Let's take a look. Is anybody else going live? Is Linda live? I don't want to interrupt. If I'm going extra, can anybody just check? Because I don't want to go into somebody else's time out of respect for them. If not, I'll keep going. But if somebody else, I'll just don't want to be taking someone else's time. Were documents found in the raid? Any of the classified? There was a lot of evidence of money exchange. There was a federal raid, and basically they caught them with crazy money schemes. It was crazy money schemes. And this is crazy. This is like the people you break in and you find a fake Visa stamp with fake passports. It has that kind of, uh, this is like a flim flam man operation that's been broken into when you go into this energy of this raid. I mean, for Two of Pentacles is the flim flam man who juggles money, complete chaos, the moon, lunatic, juggling money. They've got like some little money scheme going on here. Then the feds, the money, the Page of Pentacles, and then the King of Cups. There was somebody under arrest who appears to be the ringleader of some crazy stuff. Look at this. Here's the raid coming in. There's the police raid. And then I read in an evidence case, I read the Queen of Cups, or I read the Empress as the treasure trove that ever overflows. So in a case of an investigation, an Empress would be a treasure trove of evidence, and you can see the raid there. And then the final outcome was that they were probably they were planning something for future elections as well, because the Queen of Cups rubs her lamp and she dreams. This is La La Land, and it had an international, the world card. So basically what the cards are saying is that they were engaged in criminal behavior, flim flam, money, uh, foreign lobbyists that didn't register, and all of that crap. And they were arrested. And it's a world, there's some kind of world investigation over it. There's the raid. They have a lot of evidence against them. They didn't cover their crimes up very well based on those cards. But the final outcome is that I would say it's probably very much tied with Trump. God, he really got himself involved in some he has so many crimes. I mean, can you even charge him with all of those crimes? There's so many crimes. Oh, welcome, Jennifer Miller, to Elders and Empaths. See you on Wednesday. Oh, nobody's live now? Okay, so whenever they come live, I'll get off. All right, so DeSantis' political future. Let's take a look. DeSantis' political future. Oh, Sterling and Linda G are off. Okay, good. Yeah, I just wanted to respect them. I know Lulu and Jack had a birthday celebration, or Mother's Day. I love the Lulu and Jack videos. Be sure and check those out. Those always give me a good chuckle. DeSantis, what is your political future? It's a lot of fighting in the Republican Party right now. He feels that he's very, he sees himself as the King of Swords, but I don't know. Look at that fighting amongst themselves. There's a lot of selections, believe it or not. From their perspective, they feel that there's a lot of choice in the Republican Party. There's also a celebration, Three of Cups, coming for him. He feels that he can win because he doesn't feel like Trump is going to stay in long term, which makes sense. I mean, if you go into Trump's cards, it's more that Trump wants to make money than anything else. So the strategy here with Ron DeSantis is that he wants to just stay in the game as long as possible until the others just fall away because they're weak. He feels that he has staying power, and for that reason, if he's patient, he will eventually win the nomination. But I keep seeing the courts and some kind of legal issue potentially coming after Ron DeSantis in the future, which makes him not necessarily the best candidate going forward. Yeah. All right, we'll do one more. And then I'll go eat something. When I get this kind of weather, when it's this kind of weather, I start to crave like Middle Eastern food. You know, when it's really hot, you start to crave tahini. And is anybody here ever been to the Middle East, like Lebanon or Israel or Palestine or any of these? There's just a certain kind of food you get. It's very delicious when it's hot. And mangoes. We eat a lot of mangoes in the Middle East. Does Satan not count all the votes in Democratic areas? Good God. Hummus, yeah. I actually have an amazing restaurant across the street that's Persian. North African food, yummy. Okay, let's see if DeSantis stole the election or tried to steal an election. Threw out any votes. This is another one. When you're in California, you crave burritos and Mexican food, right? Because that's the food that you can digest in hot weather. You know, light California cuisine is very light. It's a lot of mixed greens and mahi mahi. It's like salad with mahi mahi, and it's very light. Avocados and mangoes and salsa. Okay. He says that he was able to use legal means. So he's confident that he cannot be prosecuted for whatever legal whatever legal stuff he engaged in. But I feel that the future is changing for Florida. I feel a new generation of people is coming in where it's going to be much, much harder for these people. The swamp that is Florida could be coming to an end. There's truth and new beginnings starting. And you can see his opposition is in a power position, Ace of Swords with the Master's card. So I feel things are changing in Florida. Hopes and fears, new beginnings and new alliances. And the final outcome is victory with the Queen of Wands. So what they're saying is the main thing that Florida needs is to be organized. They need to be organized, and for the left to be organized. And that is they're building organization on the ground level and at the local level. And that's ultimately going to be what's best for Florida. All right, everyone. Thank you for having a really fun Mother's Day with me. And I hope you enjoyed the company. And I hope you know that we very much appreciate you as mothers. And I hope you appreciate yourself as a mommy and do something special for yourself today and every day. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. If you're needing me to give you a call, give you a reading. If you need a 5-minute pre-taped video question done, that's through Wizio. The information is also below. If you'd like to be a member of this channel, we would love to have you as a member. Fairies and Angels, we get together on Saturdays, free readings, etc. That's $2.99. If you'd like to learn how to be a professional remote viewer, those classes take place Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and it's for members at the Elders, Empaths, and Healers level. The videos are private videos. I put them in the community pages a couple hours prior to class. You just click on them, and if you're a member, you should be able to get on no problem. And then finally, we have the Benefactors package, which is $99. And that gives you a free reading with me once a month, in addition to all the other benefits. You can take classes, etc. All right. So those are all the things we offer here on the channel. Thank you so much, everyone. And I guess I'll see you next time. Thank you, Delilah Gillis, Joel Tilson, Geocosmic Valentine, Debbie Brady, your dreams coach, and everybody else who participated, K-Travel. I'll see you all later. Be well.